Hey guys, this is Pastor Frazier at Canton Baptist Temple, and today's devotional thought is found in Psalm 78. Psalm 78, believe it or not, was not written by David, but it was written by a man named Asaph. And he relates the story about the Israelites as they wandered through the wilderness. And in Psalm 78 and verse 19, we have a question. But before I read that question, let me ask you a question. Has the thought gone through your mind lately? Am I going to get through this? Is our country going to make it through this coronavirus crisis? Can God provide for my needs as we go through this ordeal? Well, believe it or not, we're not the first ones to ask questions like that. The Israelites asked questions like that as they wandered through the wilderness. And by the way, wandering through the wilderness was not an enjoyable time for them. I want to begin by reading Psalm 78, verse 19. Yea, they spake against God and said, Can God furnish a table in the wilderness? Now, that question, can God furnish a table in the wilderness? That idea behind that word furnish is to prepare. It's a little bit like what Rachel's been doing lately. Rachel's been having to cook a lot of meals at the house since we've had the governor's stay-at-home order. And when she prepares the table, it's where she puts the napkin down and she puts the fork and the knife down and the spoon down and she puts the drink there and she puts the plate of food. That's the imagery that you have here in verse 19. Can God furnish a table in the wilderness? Can God provide for my needs while I'm going through the wilderness of life? Well, in verse 20, you find these words, Behold, he smote the rock. Who was that? Moses. Moses is the one who smote the rock, that the waters gushed out and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? Well, we know that reading the Old Testament story of the Israelites wandering around in the wilderness, God did provide for them. God gave them water from the rock. He gave them manna from heaven to eat as bread, and he also sent quails for them to eat. God met all of their needs in the wilderness, and yet they questioned God. Can God furnish a table in the wilderness? Then you find verse 21, Therefore the Lord heard this and was wroth. In other words, he was very angry. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel. And then verse 22 gives us the reason why God was so upset, because they believed not in God and trusted not in his salvation. It's important for us to believe and to trust God, and getting through the tough times of life means that we even believe that he's going to provide to meet all of our needs. Let's not doubt God's ability to take care of us. Let's be reminded that God is at work. Yes, this is a trying time, but it's also supposed to be a trusting time. You and I should trust God. We shouldn't be like the Israelites where we doubt whether God can provide for us or not. God will provide for us. We have to believe that and trust that. And we have to know that God does have a plan. God's at work, and we just need to trust him through this whole ordeal. He will meet our needs. He will provide for us, and he will take care of his children. There's our thought for today. I hope you'll join us again tomorrow. If you've enjoyed this devotional, hit that like button there on Facebook and also hit the share button. And that way others, maybe your family and friends, will also be blessed by this devotional. God bless you. Have a great day.